Right, Mr. Shah, if you could tell us about the current projects.
No, so I was saying a very interesting trend which is happening. If you see last few years, the Goliaths of the business are getting challenged by the Davids, no, I've not seen any new invention or innovation for people who are already established in their field. So, for example, a battery company got into a car, which is Tesla. Your Amazon, which is never was in publishing, got into publishing by Kindle. Uber was never a taxi cab company. Have challenged Hertz and Avis. Your iPhone was a music, from iPod to was never a music company, became a music company, then became a phone company. So it's a very interesting trend that wherever IT enable businesses are coming in, that's creating a very significant scale and size disruption in existing industries, and is a crazy trend to see that you don't need to do a real invention. A bit of innovation in terms of technology platform, delivery, service to your clients can create such a huge markets. And classic example, if you see time to taken to market, all whether it's Google, Uber, Facebook, the life of the organization in terms of start to growth is between 0 to 7 years, 0 to 6 years, and they kind of become large established market cap players. I'm just reading Facebook's market cap is higher than GE. So nobody's seen this trend before. I'm sure this something new for us for next 10 years, but ultimately one will have, for investors especially, one will have to watch the trend of valuation, and history repeats again. There is that if the business doesn't generate cash flow, if the businesses don't make money, it will be very difficult to justify these valuations. And as you move up the chain, if you see the kind of money which is flowing into new startups, the bubble is getting bigger and bigger and hotter and hotter. So the moment that happens, the success ratios diminishes. So if you would have funded a startup 5 years back, the hit ratio could be better. And if you fund the startups today, the number of new startups which are there, your hit ratio is going to go down. So one needs to be very careful in terms of when backing a new project, new entrepreneur, or new business idea.
All right. Do you think we would be able to soon surpass China, or being known as the startup hub?
I think so. Sheer in terms of scale, size of the economy, you may not reach the volume growth, but you may need value growth, but you may need the volume growth. So number of startups, entrepreneurs, you may see in India, but in terms of value, what China is creating, in terms of sheer Alibaba, which is higher than Facebook or something like that, is because the size of the market. Now you can't compare the size of the market. There are 3.5, 4 times more than India's GDP. Size of the market is quite large, which will give opportunities to the existing local startups to build on the platform. But yes, the trend is very interesting. It used to be foreign VCs, then it became the foreign growth capital, and now the whole ecosystem is going in terms of Indian high net worth individuals would want to back an entrepreneur at a Series A or early startup stage funding. So now for the first time after 10 years, I'm seeing that private equity, which was the institutional investor, which is already there, also Indian entrepreneurs, Indian high net worth individuals want to back up a business idea, and that trend is coming back. And that's I'm worried that if it's too much of hot money flowing into fewer ideas, or very highly expensive business ideas or valuable companies.
You being the expert, fewer do's and don'ts for startups.
Whatever business idea or a delivery mechanism or a technology you would have, I think so you get confidence when there's an acceptance from the customer. So before you look at scaling up, investing heavily, take it to a different size. So as I mentioned before, first experiment everything from 0 to 1x. When you reach 1x, you look back and see what needs to get improved. Then look at 1 to 10x. The toughest part of a new company journey is 0 to 1x. When you achieve your threshold, the minimum break-even threshold, you get multiple feedbacks, whether it's a people, product, platform, improvements you can make to again get a multiplier effect from 1 to 10x. So that's what I would say. Anything which is a service or a technology or a product, you need to see the customer acceptance first. And once you get that confidence, I think everything else can fall in place.
All right. What's your vision for the future, and at present, is there any corporate social responsibility from your organization?
No, we're continuously investing. It's a mandatory activity, I think so. There's no, and you should continue to focus on CSR. So we have our social initiatives website. We have invested in investor education. We have taken up projects to own villages. So our parent company, which is IFL Holdings, we do all the CRS activities with there.
What do you think would be the takeaways for the delegates?
No, I think it should increase the participation. There is the way amount of entrepreneurship is happening across. As you've taken Gurgaon, as Bangalore could be a bigger event. All the hub and activities also there. So the more the participation, more the education, and more the understanding, I would say.